and me. No matter how they toss the dice, it had to be. The only one for me is you, and you for me. So happy together.
You know, standing up here again, it all has kind of a familiar feel. Students of trivia will recall that last time around I was your nominee for vice president. It was a great honor. It was a great honor even if things didn't work out quite according to the plan. Hey, I'm a positive guy. I found some other things to keep me busy. It was a great honor even if things didn't work out quite according to the plan. Hey, I'm a positive guy. I found some other things to keep me busy. I could not be more proud of our vice presidential nominee. I served with this man in the House of Representatives. We became very good friends. I've watched this man up close. I've seen what he's made of. Let me tell you something about Mike Pence. This is a man of solid character. This is a man who sees public service as a calling, not a career. He has served honorably, with great dignity. My fellow Republicans, the man that you have nominated, he's a man of faith. He's a man of conviction. He's a man you can trust. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce to you the next Vice President of the United States, Governor Mike Pence.
And let me thank Speaker Paul Ryan for that gracious welcome. Paul, you're a true friend and a great American leader. But Paul knows me well, and he knows the introduction I prefer is just a little bit shorter.
Well, let me say back to your earlier point. People sometimes tell me that our next nominee should be a governor, and I always say, I'm certainly sympathetic to that view.
But here, now at the very front, he's someone with whom you served for more than 10 years. Are you happy with that as a pick?
Listen, Mike is a solid guy. He is a consistent conservative. I think he is actually a nice complement to the Donald Trump candidacy. Will provide some of that strong sort of moral compass that Mike always provided in the House. So I think if it's Mike Pence, it's a good pick.
Donald Trump was not your pick early on. You famously bet that he wouldn't win a primary. Now he is the party's presumptive nominee. Is there anything more he can say now to make you more comfortable with him as the nominee?
I was, a co-chair for Jeb Bush, and I'm a big fan of Jeb's. And
Julian Assange has revealed a pair of tweets that there was a plan in place to knock out Trump in favor of Pence, and that Hillary Clinton was behind it. In the first pair of tweets, Assange claimed that Trump's 2016 presidential election opponent Hillary Clinton stated privately this month that she is, quote, pushing for a Pence takeover. The second tweet alleges two unnamed intelligence community officials, quote, close to Pence, stated privately this month that they are planning on a Pence takeover. Assange does not say whether that means they are behind the plans or if they are simply expecting a takeover. He also said the two IC officials didn't state whether Pence agrees with the takeover.
How did this Mike Pence pick come to be?
Well, I think they were looking for someone they felt would be a good president, someone who has the gravitas and the experience. He has both experience as 12 years as a congressman. He has stood up to the leadership in that position. He was a part of the Republican leadership in the House. And, of course, he has executive experience as a governor of 4 years and a great record in Indiana. So he's a man of integrity, proven ability, and well liked within the Republican people.
Well, we heard that from Marco Rubio. We heard Paul Ryan both come out and say they agreed with this pick. But ordinarily, you seem to pick somebody, at least in the past, as vice presidential picks went, that agreed with you on most issues. But a couple of Trump's key staples, some cornerstones of his campaign, be it the issue of trade, be it the issue of immigration, be it the issue of a ban on Muslims, are things that Pence actively worked against and has spoken against. How do you square that circle where you have the top and the bottom of the ticket so opposed on these key issues?
Well, they spoke.
I'm going to withdraw the United States from the Trans-Pacific Partnership. The Trans-Pacific Partnership is another disaster, done and pushed by special interests who want to rape our country. Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives can figure out what the hell is going on. We can't continue to allow China to rape our country, and that's what they're doing. It's the greatest theft in the history of the world. The judge, who happens to be, we believe, Mexican, which is great, I think that's fine. Judge Curio should be ashamed of himself. I think it's a disgrace that he's doing this.
Do you believe in punishment for abortion? Yes or no, as a principle?
The answer is that there has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
See 2016, and Governor Mike Pence tonight has endorsed Speaker of the House Paul Ryan after Donald Trump didn't yesterday. The latest example of Pence trying to play the role of campaign crisis killer for his running mate.
I talked to Donald Trump this morning about my support for Paul Ryan, our longtime friendship. He strongly encouraged me to endorse Paul Ryan in next Tuesday's primary, and I'm pleased to do it.
That was Mike Pence on Fox News Wednesday, just hours after meeting with Senator John McCain, whom Trump also refused to endorse this week.
It's good to see everybody. We had our last political conference today, and we were joined by someone who needs no introduction. For Hoosiers, Mike Pence is their governor. For Americans, Mike Pence is Donald Trump's running mate, next vice president. For us, Mike Pence is a friend. Mike Pence is a former colleague. 7 out of 10 Americans believe that this country is heading in the wrong direction. He is working with all of us to make sure that we put this country back on the right track. We are offering an agenda to this country to show how we can get this country back on top, to show this country how we can get jobs, show how this country how we can fight poverty, rebuild our military, restore self-government and the Constitution. And that is why we're just honored to have with us today our friend and our colleague, who we believe is going to be the next Vice President of the United States. Mike Pence joined us today. Our members were excited to have him. We feel the wind at our backs, and we're excited about getting this agenda and moving it into law. And if you want to learn more about it, go to better.gop, and you can see just, in fact, what we have in store for solving this country's big problems with our partners. And with that, I'd like to introduce Mike Pence.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you so much to this whole leadership team. It is a great privilege for me to be back among so many men and women who live out every day a dedication to this nation that's truly inspiring. I'm grateful for the hospitality. It was, for me, an emotional return to a group of men and women that I served with for 12 years and have so admired. I know Donald Trump and I are so grateful for the support that we're receiving from this, not just this leadership team, but members all across this country who are rallying to the cause to make America great again. And to be at the House Republican Conference today was a great privilege. Particularly want to express my appreciation to Speaker Paul Ryan. His development of the Better Way agenda.
Mike Pence, Indiana's governor, took a risk. He decided he would walk away from being an incumbent governor in the state of Indiana and take the #2 slot on the Donald Trump campaign. It worked. I spoke to him just minutes after the speech of Donald Trump tonight had concluded.
There in the beginning, when you came here to be nominated, pick Mike. What do you think now?
It's just very humbling. It's very humbling for us to have the opportunity to serve the American people as Vice President of the United States. And just grateful to the people of Indiana for the opportunities they've given our family to serve, and just going to carry our love for this state into this new position. And
President-elect, would you raise your right hand and repeat after me? I, Michael Richard Pence, do solemnly swear
I, Michael Richard Pence, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely,
that I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office on which I'm about to enter.
the duties of the office on which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Is a great honor and privilege to toast my dear friend and former colleague, Vice President Mike Pence. I just really enjoy saying that. That's, I think about the times that we've walked back and forth just down this hall on the way to a vote. But if memory serves, more often than not, we walked that way because we were being hauled into the speaker's office for being admonished for being rabble-rousers in the Republican Study Committee. We've had so many great memories here. I know this job makes you an officer of the Senate, but you, Mike Pence, will always be a part of the people's house. We talk about our two bodies quite a bit, and if I had to use a sports analogy, I would say we play rugby, they play golf. Just saying. I'm reminded of something, though, that I think is pretty profound that makes me think of Mike Pence. I'm reminded of the words of Mike's favorite author, Mark Halperin. As long as you have life and breath, believe. As long as you have life and breath, believe. Ladies and gentlemen, there was no one that I have served with who brings more belief to his work than Mike Pence. No one believes more deeply in our country and her people. No one believes more deeply in our capacity to do great things. He is a happy warrior. The president could not have chosen a better partner for this work than Mike Pence. So, Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, we raise our glasses to you, to Karen, and to your beautiful family. May you have every blessing and success as the 48th Vice President of the United States of America. Sláinte.
Trump walked onto the convention stage to congratulate running mate Mike Pence last night. And then this
shake
happened.
hands, like, oh, wait, oh.
Trump kind of leans in for a kiss, but doesn't quite. His lips never really make contact. Pence responds with sort of a quick thinking arm grab.
Let me just say how excited we are about these opportunities for the country. We had a fantastic, productive meeting about getting to work, rolling up our sleeves, and going to work for the American people.
Crazy. When you were asked about Mike Pence in 2024, and you paused a minute about endorsing him as your successor, that got a lot of people going. Is Mike Pence 100% on your ticket in 2020?
Well, look, 100%, yes.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
There is no wiggle room.
He's been a terrific vice president. He's my friend and a lot of things. No, zero.
So why'd you hesitate in endorsing him?
Because it was a surprise question. I mean, I'm not even thinking of it. It's so far out. Okay. I mean, it's so far out. That would be the only reason. Now, what happens in 2024? I don't know that Mike is going to run. I don't know who's running or anything else. So, no. Zero. Zero.
Looks like you did well last week. Hey, how are you? How are you?
As the party deals with infighting and leadership uncertainty with the impending exit of Speaker Paul Ryan and rumors that he's being pushed out by his own party to clear way for Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy. Plus, in issues beyond 2018, there are rumors swirling that the vice president is waging a shadow campaign of his own for 2020. I asked the vice president about both. A lot of discussion about whether or not Paul Ryan should leave early. One report this morning said that the president sees the merits of that plan of an earlier exit for Paul Ryan and a sooner leadership and a speakership for Kevin McCarthy. Do you agree? Do you see the merits of that?
Well, I know that President Trump and I hold Speaker Paul Ryan in the highest regard. He's been a great partner during this Congress in passing tax cuts and deregulation, a historic investment in our military. You'll see that progress again this week with the passage of VA choice and banking reforms and right to try that'll help vulnerable patients all across America. We also hold Leader Kevin McCarthy in the highest regard, and I know the president's focus is on continuing to work with both of these leaders in the days ahead to make progress for the American people.
So do you think that Paul Ryan will leave before the midterms?
Well, I think that'll be a decision for Speaker Ryan.
He said he wants to stay all the way through.
He's articulated that, and I think he's stood by that. But what I can tell you is the president and I are very grateful to Speaker Paul Ryan, to Leader McCarthy, to the entire leadership team in the House, because they've really been delivering for the American people.
Senior administration officials about the nature of his conversations. That caused a concern he might be susceptible to blackmail. In a resignation letter released by the White House, Flynn wrote in part this, quote, "Unfortunately, because of the fast pace of events, I inadvertently briefed the vice president-elect and others with incomplete information regarding my phone calls with the Russian ambassador. I have sincerely apologized to the president and the vice president, and they have accepted my apology." A senior official tells NBC News the president and advisors have been, quote, agonizing over what to do about Flynn for days. But ultimately, the situation became unsustainable, not because of the discussion of sanctions, but because he had lied to the president and the vice president. And a source close to the president says that it was the vice president himself who was a driver behind Flynn's exit last night. That it was the vice president himself who was a driver behind Flynn's exit last night. And
tell me, the President of the United States doesn't have a vaccine? Yeah, right.
And there's the presidential hearse as they head towards Arlington Cemetery. Michael Richard Pence, 46th President of the United States, dead at the age of 61.
President Paul Davis Ryan, Jr.